what is going on with you guys? Thank you for tapping in with me again today. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Cleveland. So it's been a minute since we've been in the fish room, y'all. Been probably a few weeks. But nonetheless, we are here in the fish room. And we are here because we had a question from one of you subscribers, from Sergeant BF Gunner. He had a wonderful question. So you know what? Let's just get this, let's set the record straight. So I'm just like y'all. I'm a freshwater fish keeper that loves keeping saltwater fish. Some of you are freshwater fish keepers and y'all want to get into the saltwater, but y'all are not quite reefers. Y'all don't know. It leaves y'all kind of like nervous, intimidated. You know what I mean? Kind of on the fence about finally getting from freshwater to saltwater. Now, this is my biggest saltwater aquarium right here. This is a 225 gallon saltwater aquarium right here. And this is my biggest freshwater aquarium right here, my 240 gallon freshwater aquarium. So the best of both worlds. It is nothing like having both. So I thought it would be great to answer the question, get in this fish room, because this is the only saltwater aquarium I have that's kind of ran correct. And I'm doing the air quotes because a lot of people will say that you could only keep saltwater aquariums with sumps. You need refugium, you need skimmer, things like that. Now, we'll make your aquariums run better, but do you absolutely need it? No. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk about the way that most people would like to run their saltwater aquariums, with a sump. Now, a sump is nothing but it's another tank or an aquarium that sits under your aquarium, and it's used just like a canister filter, right? So you're gonna have water come in, it's gonna go through different chambers, and water is gonna go back into the tank. I could draw you a diagram. All right, so let me just, and I know this is not necessary for the people that's already been keeping saltwater aquariums, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We have a lot of people that view the channel, view the videos, that actually want to get started with the saltwater hobby, and they're nervous. So look, this is what it is. So we have a fish tank right here. Fish, right? And then here's the stand, right? Under the stand, here's another tank. Let me come in. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's try this again. Let's redo this illustration. It's not necessary, but it's necessary. So we have our main tank right there. We got water in there. We got fish, right? We got fish, smiley, happy fish, right? So then we have our stand. Why'd I make the stand like that? I don't know, whatever. So we have our stand. Under the stand, we have another tank. It could be an aquarium. It could be a real sump, whichever one. In this sump, it's gonna have multiple chambers. It's gonna have a chamber that look like that. Usually have a filter sock that comes down, right? And then on this side, you have another chamber. In this chamber, it's gonna be a lot of water. You could either have your refugium right here, which is basically an area that's gonna, you're gonna put your macroalgae. You're gonna put in this area the things that's going to photosynthesize, the things that's going to absorb the light, because you're going to keep the light on it. So it's going to be pulling algae from your aquarium, and you're going to be pulling the algae from your aquarium and all those nutrients and all that light and all that. You're going to pull that energy to your sump where you're feeding like Cheeto, macroalgae, things like that. So basically look at it like a plant. Let's just say you have in this area, you have a plant, right? So what is plants doing on freshwater aquariums? The plant is going to suck up the nitrates, right? So the same thing, same scenario for the saltwater aquarium. You're going to put whatever plant, you could put mangrove, you could put whatever plant in here that could stay in saltwater, that's going to pull your nutrients, the nitrates out of the water. That's the principle for this area. That's what a refugium is. So you could have your sand in here, right? You could put sand in there. You could put live rock. You could put hermit crabs. You could put snails in here. And the reason why you're putting that stuff in there is because you want this thing to sustain. So as all of the decaying food and different things like that go through here and it collects, you need organisms that's going to eat that up. Copepods. We'll talk about that in a future video. Copepods eats up all of the decaying organics, the microscopic decaying organics. So then in this chamber right here, it's going to be some more water because it's passing all through there. So in this section, we have like a nice sponge of sort. So the water goes through here, it passes through, it goes through here. This is going to be the pump. And the pump is going to pump the water right back into the aquarium. On this side, the water is going to come down, go through the filter sock, pass through our refugium, gets pumped out, right back in. Now that's if you want it to be a refugium. The only difference for a skimmer is in this compartment right here where you have a refugium, you lose out on that. And in that compartment now you have the skimmer. So we're going to look at what I have. I have down here a skimmer in my compartment where I would put my refugium. So I'm kind of losing on that. So since I plan on showing you what I'm going to do to make sure that I can maximize and have me a refugium on this aquarium. So let's take a look at this thing. All right, so here's my sump. This is a eShop sump. It works very well for aquariums up to 300 gallons. This aquarium is only 225. This protein skimmer right here, basically what a skimmer does, it removes all of the organics from your aquarium before it's able to break down and foul up the water. So all of the micro bubbles is creating these micro bubbles and it's skimming those organics out of the water and it fills up that cup up top. Those are the filter socks. You see those two hoses right there? As like I showed you in the diagram, that's the water coming in. The water passes through, right through here, goes into here, gets skimmed. This would be where the refugium would be at. It'd be the sand, the snails, the hermit crabs, the chetto. I'd have a light up here hanging on top of it, but instead I have the skimmer. Then it passes through that sponge right here, and then it gets pumped right back into the aquarium. Has an overflow box right there, and the water comes back in right there. Right there. So, and this is the 225 gallon aquarium. Pardon the glare. We have in here the white spot grouper right here. We have in here the panther grouper. We have in here the yellowhead eel. And then we have in here the tessellata eel. Can't really get a good view of them, but you can see them right there. That's it. That's all that's in here. Anyway, so this is going to be the refugium. So the same way I have a overflow box right here, I'll drop a line into this one right here, and then I'll just pump the water back in. So I can have a refugium on this aquarium. So either one would suffice. So I also have this big trash can sump on this aquarium. So this big trash can sump right here is full of media blocks. Full of media blocks. I plan on filling it up even more with more media blocks, more rock, et cetera, et cetera. It's good to have a very large space full of media in case you need to jumpstart any new aquarium. So I hope that explains it. Like I said, this is the best way, according to most people, to have it set up with a sump. But you would like to have, they have sumps that has a compartment for the skimmer as well as the refugium. Obviously, it'll be much larger. It would have to be twice, I don't want to say twice the size, but this would have to be twice the size. This compartment right here. So imagine another 12 inches added onto this sump right here. Now this sump was like $450. So you would probably spend a good 700, 800 bucks on a good sump that could work on an aquarium that's 225 gallons. This skimmer right here, the skimmer right here was also about $400. So again, you know, $500-$600, you know, for a skimmer that's compatible for a tank bigger than this. But yeah, you know, you could always DIY your stuff. Let's take a look at one other thing though. So let's just say you wanted to have this be your refugium. All you have to do is put a light up there, take some macroalgae, throw it in there, and grow your macroalgae in there. You could even put your plants, your mangrove. You could even put your mangrove in here and put a light up top and be growing your mangrove, and it would still work like a refugium. So it could be an above the tank refugium. So you have multiple options. All right, so that about wraps it up. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something. If you did, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload. And everybody, if you enjoyed this video, do something for me one time. Like the video. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.